Welcome, welcome, welcome. Part of our continuing series where we talk to professors, reporters, writers, columnists, anybody on the left, anybody on the right. And we want to provide that information unedited and unaltered directly to you so that you could make up your own mind. With us today, we were able to get one question briefly answered by Professor Robert Axelrod. He's the Professor Emeritus of Public Policy at the University of Michigan. Again, a lot of the professors are very busy, especially if they are highly interested in this topic. It's become a very popular topic recently, hence why we're starting to do a series about it. But if it's a popular topic and you're an expert in it, that means your time is under very much high demand. So a lot of the professors we try to reach out to are busy, and we appreciate whatever time they can give. With us today, we were able to talk to Robert Axelrod very briefly. Robert Axelrod is the William D. Hamilton Distinguished Professor of Emeritus at the University of Michigan. Make sure that's working. He has appointments in the Department of Political Science and Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy. Prior to coming to Michigan, he taught at the University of California, Berkeley. He holds a BA in mathematics from the University of Chicago and a PhD in political science from Yale. 2014, he was awarded the National Medal of Science, the nation's highest honor for scientific achievement and leadership. He is best known for his interdisciplinary work on the evolution of cooperation, which has been cited more than 30,000 times. His current research interests include international security and sense-making. Among his honors and awards are memberships in the National Academy of Science, a 5-year MacArthur Prize Fellowship, the Newcomb Cleveland Prize of American Association for the Advancement of Sciences for an outstanding contribution to science, and the National Academy of Sciences Award for behavioral research relevant to the prevention of nuclear war. He served as the president of the American Political Science Association 2006-07, and in 2015 he was awarded an honorary doctorate of laws degree by Harvard University. That's almost unheard of. Wow. Axelrod has consulted and lectured on promoting cooperation and harnessing complexity for the United Nations, the World Bank, the U.S. Department of Defense, and various organizations serving healthcare professionals, business leaders, and K-12 educators. And this is how we found him. Preventing extreme polarization of political attitudes. And this is what the article was about. Extreme polarization can undermine democracy by making compromise impossible and transforming politics into a zero-sum game. Ideological polarization, the extent to which political views are widely dispersed, is already strong among elites, but less so amongst the general public. There's debate on that. Strong mutual distrust and hostility between Democrats and Republicans in the United States, combined with the elite's already strong ideological polarization, could lead to increasing ideological polarization among the public. I believe it has, and many other professors do too. The paper addresses two questions. Is there a level of ideological polarization above which polarization feeds upon itself to become a runaway process? That's a great question. If so, what policy interventions could prevent such dangerous positive feedback loops? To explore these questions, we present an agent-based model of ideological polarization that differentiates between the tendency for two actors to interact, exposure, and how they respond when interactions occur, positing that interaction between similar actors reduces their difference, while interaction between dissimilar actors increases their difference. Our analysis explores the effects on polarization of different levels of tolerance to others' views, responsiveness to others' views, exposure to dissimilar actors, multiple ideological dimensions, economic self-interest, and external shocks. The results suggest strategies for preventing or at least slowing the development of extreme polarization. And we had talked about that. You can interact with other people and reduce polarization, but it has to be done in the right way. You can't walk up to somebody and say, your party's dumb and stupid, and here's a dumb idea your party said. See, we're having a conversation. You've got to approach them the right way. And if you can do that, it can be reduced. It's interesting that he's talking about, will the public be polarized? Only the elites are polarized. And then the reference is Nolan McCarthy, Polarization, What Everybody Needs to Know in 2019. Before January 6th, he's asking, will the public get polarized before January 6th? And before the Republican Party condemned it and then walked back their condemnation, and the country did not repudiate those still active leaders of the Republican Party who did that. I do find the question interesting. Is there a level of ideological polarization above which polarization feeds upon itself to become a runaway process? That's fascinating. I've wondered the same question too. Can people become so traumatized that even if you insert interdiction to reduce the polarization, it's too late? They're too far gone. The example I give is the Vietnam vet who comes back physically but not mentally. Okay, so I asked one question. Do you think political polarization calmed down naturally? No. I know it's a short answer, but it's key. This is a guy who is studying how to prevent extreme polarization of political attitudes. In the description, he's already saying we know the elites are already polarized. The question is, will the public become polarized? He's saying this in 2019. It's clear to many people that the public is polarized, again, after January 6th and after the Republican Party walked back the repudiation and after the Republicans did not repudiate their party or remove their leaders for doing that. That suggests the people, the voters, are in on it or are okay. Something we've seen since 2019 develop. So for a guy who's talking about, can it get worse? Will it spread to the public? How do we reduce this? Well, we have to reduce this through the exposure method, where people interact with each other in quality ways. Do you think it will calm down on its own naturally? No. So without specific intervention at the national scale, having people interact with each other in this exposure model, it's not going to get better. Additionally, he was asking in 2019, will it spread to the public? And it appears that that's true. And this was from an expert who was studying how do you reduce political polarization. He says, no, I don't think it's going to get better on its own. People will have to be involved. And the way that they're going to be involved is through the direct interaction with each other at a national scale. So not a very big answer, but I think it's key from somebody who's looking at how do we prevent it, saying, do you think America will just get out of it on its own? Absolutely not, was the response. We'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with more soon.